Hello. I want to explain the three things that we offer. First, we offer production models. We also offer custom builds. And we also offer parts orders, which means necks and bodies just by themselves. So let's talk about the first thing, which is production models. This is where Citizen is going to define all the specs in advance. So there's not a whole lot of customization in terms of things that are hard to change, like a scale length. You can't just change that once you make it. You can't change the woods. But in our production models, we offer some customization. Most importantly is color. For an upcharge, there's the custom color option, which is pretty cool. You could do natural or any sort of stain, transparent, sparkle, solid color, bursts, whatever. There's also two different levels of production models. There's the standard series, and then there's the Pro series. The standard series is a really good guitar. The Pro series is just a step up, and there's three key areas that we focus on upgrading. So first would be tuners. The standard is going to have non-locking tuners, and the Pro is going to have Godot locking tuners. The second area we focus on is going to be pickups. So standard is going to have Citizen pickups made in Korea, very decent pickups. But then the Pro series, it's USA made Citizen pickups or any other brand. Lambertones have been popular recently, but we're hooked up with every pickup maker: Duncan, DiMarzio, Lawler, Fralin, anything. If you go with the Pro series, we're happy to install any brand pickup, any model. And then on the bass side too, like we could get stuff from Bartolini, Nordstrand, EMG, whatever. Pretty much any vendor out there that's selling guitar or bass parts, we're already hooked up with them, so it's all good there. The Pro series also focuses on a third side, which would be the electronics. So the standard guitars have standard controls, so your volume is just a regular volume and your tone is just a regular tone, and this works for most players. If you want a little bit more nuance and control, then the Pro series will give you things like a treble bleed circuit on the volume that helps for as you turn the volume from 10 to 0, it keeps the tone pretty much the same throughout that sweep. Whereas the standard series, regular volumes, they usually get a little woofy as you get down towards 0. You also get other upgrades on the electronics for the Pro series. If there's humbuckers, you're gonna get coil split. If there are 3 pickups, you're also gonna get the choice of a parallel or series switch, or you could get the like a phase reverse switch. So yeah, that's the difference between standard and Pro. You have the upgrades for the Pro. You're gonna get better tuners, better pickups, and more control and switching options for your electronics. All right, so now we go to the custom builds. This is where the specs for the build are 100% determined by you. This is where, we have a spec sheet that's 70 lines or something, 75 lines long, that you get to go to town on the specs. So like headstock, all the stuff that you can customize there, literally every aspect of the headstock. Same thing with the fretboard, same thing with the neck, all the way down to the body. You get to choose just everything. And then of course components, you get full reign over hardware, pickups, electronics, and yeah, we build it completely from scratch according to whatever your requirements are. And yeah, this applies to the electric guitar side as well as the bass guitar side. Yeah, if you can dream it, we can build it. Sounds cliche, but that's what we do. Okay, so now we're moving on to this third thing, which is parts orders, necks and bodies. Like I said, it's good for guys who are courageous or knowledgeable enough to build their own guitars, you know, do-it-yourself type guys. And it's also good for if you need to replace the neck, or maybe you want to replace the neck on your Strat or Tele. Something that's, I think, is cool that we do that other neck and body vendors don't do is yeah, we offer custom neck heel dimensions. A lot of guys are only, they're kind of locked into the Fender standard shapes, but we could, if you could provide us with the dimensions of the neck, or just send us the neck, it could be an Ibanez or a Schecter or something that your grandpa built, then we'll take the measurements and we'll build accordingly. Necks are gonna be delivered with paint if you want, or we could do it just raw wood, and the frets will be already installed and beveled, but you will need to still potentially do some leveling and final dressing and polishing on your end. For parts orders, we also include, if you want, the larger hardware items like tuners and pickups and bridges, but for all the small little miscellaneous stuff, we're not really in a good spot to provide those things. But I mean, you could get that from All Parts or StewMac or WD or something. I don't know. There's a lot of places you could get that stuff. Yeah, so that's pretty much in a nutshell what we do. And if you're in the market for any of this type of stuff, yeah, we'd love to work with you. Thanks. See ya.